Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and welcome to another episode, and this is our Motivational Monday.
Yeah.
And this one is entitled, You're Never Too Old to Set New Goals or Dream New Dreams.
Yeah, I love this one.
Because I'm old?
Right before the podcast, he goes, is this an old joke? Is that what you said?
Yeah, is this an old joke? I just got my AARP card. Come on.
Yeah, I wrote this episode because of the stage of life that we're in, right? And
Yep.
I feel like as people get older, they feel like they missed the boat, right? I should have done this. I wish I would have done this. If I would have started this, back X,
Right.
And we say it too. Like if we would have done all of this back when we were 20 or 30, we would have been living the life of our dreams for years and years and years now, instead of struggling into our 50s.
Right.
And so you're 52 now, right? You just had a birthday that was a freaking whirlwind with everything else that we had going on. It's almost like you had a birthday.
Yeah, that was, I always like to make my birthday month exciting, but I don't want to do that one again.
You got to move to Florida.
That was brutal.
So here, 52, yeah. I'm 50, and I hope it was okay to disclose your age. We talk about age all the time, so yeah, okay. Usually it's the woman that doesn't want to say it.
That's what my driver's license says. But if you ask me how old I am, I'm 26.
Right. Agreed. I don't feel 50 either. But the fact is that you have this understanding when you're planning and doing things and trying to figure out what you want to do. The older you get, the more conservative you tend to get, because you feel like, hey, these are the years in which I'm supposed to be starting to, have this passive income, to be able to retire. And some people want to work forever. Some people don't want to work. Some people want to retire at 50. Some people want to retire at 65. So it just depends on where you're at. But once you hit those 50s, there's just like this jar of, whoa, we got to the big 5-0.
Right.
We should be in a different place in our life right now, or very, very close. And so the reason this Motivational Monday topic was important to me is because I think it's important to understand you can start anything at any point in time. And we certainly prove that every single day of our lives. And I just read a message on Facebook that was very relevant. And I wish I would have written it down so I could read it verbatim. But it was a message that literally said something like, I'm in my twilight years, and watching you flip through these podcasts or your Facebook, posts, I've realized that you guys are the type of people that you don't even care how old you are. You just keep on going. You don't let anything stand in your way. And so he was talking about wanting to invest. He's like, I'm in my twilight years, but I want to invest. Like I shouldn't be worried about the fact that I'm here. I do have money that's just sitting there doing nothing. And he didn't say the rest of this. And I'm going to say losing money to inflation right now, especially. And when you're in your twilight years, the last thing that you want to do is all the money that you've built up is to be having that money lose value, right?
Evaporate.
Yeah. So you want to be putting it into an investment vehicle that you trust. So it was just really important to me to say, don't look at your age. Don't even think about how you feel. Maybe that's how you make decisions. Make decisions like you're 26 years old.
I'm not doing, no.
Okay, maybe that was the wrong way to say it.
My 26, that's the wrong, anyway, I know what you meant though, but just don't make decisions like my 26. Anyway.
Right. But even dreaming new dreams. Now that we're in Florida, like my mind is kind of like, what could we do while we're here? And I really haven't taken it to that level yet, because there's so much in FCI that we're trying to do that I've learned through building businesses. Like, don't go on to the next one until you finish what you started. And so we're really, really focused on FCI and these funds that we're creating. And that was just something that kind of came to be within the last year, right? So literally, like, we're living the life that says, we don't care. We're going to continue to set new goals. We're going to continue to dream new dreams. We're not promised tomorrow. We might not be alive tomorrow when we wake up. I wake up every morning and go, thank you, Lord. I am alive another day.
Today's another day. That's right.
But we're not promised it. But if I do wake up every single day for the next 365 days and hopefully like 10 more years, look how much more we could build.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it's we've always talked about this. I wish we would have done this, and we wish we would have gotten into apartments decades ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's all we're not depressed about it. We're not going, I'm so sad because I didn't do this back
Right.
then,
True.
and there's so many, and I wish I would have looked up the stat there, but there's so many people that have become millionaires in their 60s and 70s.
Yes.
You don't hear about them too often because you hear about the snot-nosed 21-year-old who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And because those make that makes all the media.
Yep.
But you don't hear about all of the people that become millionaires in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and so it's there's not a time requirement, on any of that.
Yeah.
And so we always say, boy, I wish we would have done that. And boy, I wish we would have done that. But we are here right now because of all of the things that we went through. We wouldn't be here right now without those steps. If we would have skipped any of those steps, we wouldn't be here.
Yes.
Because we needed all of those steps to properly learn. Everything happens for a reason. And so we needed all those steps to properly learn where we are right now in this moment. So I love it. The joke about you're never too old. I make new goals all the time.
Yes.
I drove by the Ferrari dealer yesterday, so I just happened to drive by the Ferrari dealer. I didn't do it on purpose. Whoop, there it is. I'm just saying. But anyway, so you're never too old, right?
That is true. And I'm glad you shared that story. I think there was a time, and it was a few years ago, where we read that article, or maybe it was more than a few years ago, but I think at the time that we read that article, it was more millionaires are made age 50 and higher.
Oh, okay.
It's something like that.
Right.
And that was a revelation to me that I was like, oh, I didn't have to make it when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I can be part of the group that does make $1 million after we're 50.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually gave me hope and inspiration and motivation. Motivational Monday.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I'm glad you shared that story.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Ferrari dealer is right next door.
Oh, Flipper, Glenn, Robinson.
To the Aston Martin dealer. They're all clumped right next to each other. It just makes it easier to shop, I think. Yeah. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this Motivational Monday episode. Make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join our investor club. And we're also on all the social media, so make sure you check us out there. And 5-star reviews, we'd love to hear those because it helps out the algorithm of some sort.
Yes,
I'm not sure how that whole thing works. Probably because it probably changed from yesterday anyway. But we like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy. Bye, everybody. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.